everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day. Sunday, and November the 12th, kicks off the dollar pick six at Aqueduct. Let's start the field for race number 4. This is the Grade 3 Long Island for fillies and mares going 1 3/8 on the turf. 7 in the body of the race. The number 8, Amanda's Folly, is entered main track only. Vergara is your 6-5 morning line favorite. Graded stakes winner this year. A very consistent filly that likes the distance and got kind of a weird ride last time.
Yeah, likes this distance, should get a good trip in this race. More than anything else, Dan, it kind of feels like a really good spot for her. I know it's another Grade 3 race for her. It just feels like this race isn't as tough as either of the last two.
You mentioned her tactical speed. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector, see where everybody's expected to be after the opening half mile of this marathon. Unruly Julie, the number 7. She's got enough speed, I would guess, for Bill Mott stretching out. But I think What Love Looks Like, the number 1, is going to be aggressively ridden by Arad Ortiz and might try to slow this down to a crawl.
Yeah, I don't think the pace is going to be fast regardless. The 1 could make the lead. The 7 did wire a field of restricted stakes horses, 2 back going shorter. I suppose she'll go forward in this race as well. More than anything else, Dan, Vergara just feels like she's going to fall into a really good trip here.
The number 1, What Love Looks Like, won 3 consecutive races earlier this year before being beaten in her last 2 against fellow New York-bred Stakes Company. Let's watch her most recent start. This is the John Hettinger, and this race is at 1 1/8. And she showed speed here, Mike, but they were on top of her pretty quickly at the quarter pole, and she grudgingly gives way to finish 4th.
Yeah, just not quite good enough here. I didn't see a big excuse. This is a decent field of New York-breds, though. You mentioned the 3-race winning streak earlier in the year, Dan. That streak was culminated with the win over this distance at Saratoga. So she can get this far if she gets the right trip, and it kind of feels like she's supposed to get the right trip in here.
With her sort of early speed, she should be able to get the right trip. And again, maybe it's just all about getting back out to this distance and relaxing up close to a moderate pace. Vergara is the number 2. She's the class of the race. She has all the back figures for trainer Graham Motion. She broke sharp last time out in the Dowager, and Joel Rosario wanted no part of the lead. I was very surprised that he wrangled her all the way back, turning into the stretch. Now, I didn't think she ran on much in the stretch once clear, but I wonder what would have happened if they went on with it. I think maybe she would have been a little closer.
It's fair to wonder. I didn't love the ride either. It wasn't her best performance, to be sure, but maybe there's an excuse. I don't really have any real knocks on her, Dan. Maybe aside from the fact that she doesn't really win that often. Her last 2 wins are also both at Kentucky Downs, and that concerns me a little bit. But she is a stakes winner over this turf course. I just think she's the horse to beat in here.
The number 3 is Atomic Blonde, and although Atomic Blonde has not won in North America, she's run several races that indicate that at this distance and at this class level, she can be a factor, probably in a little bit too tough in her last 2, the E.P. Taylor and the Canadian, against the likes of Fev Rover and Moira, horses that competed in the Breeders' Cup. At this level, she fits, and I think she's a little more tactical than she looks on paper as well.
I think she fits very well in this race, too. I also feel like just getting back out in distance is probably really going to help her here. They went 3 straight 9-furlong races with her, and she ran fine in those performances there. But I think longer distances could be better for her. I'm not sure how good she is. I don't know that, 3-1, I'd be falling all over myself to take 3-1 on her in here, but I think she could win.
The 4 is Cali Kim, and trainer Brendan Walsh has done a sensational job with this veteran mare, bringing her back off of a lengthy layoff, and she has won 3 races off the bench and has been successful stretching out in distances. 2 starts back, winning at 10.5, and here at 1.5 miles, showing off a very strong late rally. I mean, this is what you want to see from a horse that's going to be stepping up into graded stakes.
I agree with you. I think that's the main takeaway that I had as well. She is moving up in class again here. So we'll see if it works for her. But you just have to like the way that she's finishing off her races since she's come back from the long lab. I know the first one was a 32 claimer at Saratoga, but big finish that day. Big finish at Kentucky Downs, 2 back. I mean, just ran that field over with her ears straight up in the air. And you just saw the last one, another really strong performance. I think she's super interested in this race.
The number 5, Rambique, is still eligible for our non-winners of 2 Life, so she's taking a pretty big jump up in class. At least she's coming into this race in solid form. Her most recent effort going 1 3/16 during the Belmont at the Big A meet. She's down towards the inside, Mike. She's going to give a steady rally to finish second, but this has sort of been the story of Rambique's career, close but no cigar.
Yeah, she runs fine in here, but she's moving up in class again for this. She's going to stretch out to a longer distance as well, and just her overall form, it's hard to make a really strong case for this horse. She runs fine in this race. She's going to have to run a lot better than that, even against this field.
Rambeek ran second in the race we just showed you. Embrace Me finished fourth in that race. Like Rambeek, Embrace Me is eligible for a non-winners at 2 Life, and it just seems like a very tough spot trying to get some black type.
Yeah, Tommy Albatrani's horses have actually been running pretty well lately, but this horse has never hit the board in 6 turf starts against allowance and maiden horses, Dan, and 50 to 1 on the line for a reason.
Timeform US believes the 7, Unruly Julie, will be out there on the lead after the opening half mile. And she was forwardly placed when she won a little race for Virginia certified 2 starts back at Colonial Downs. They ran her in a second level allowance last time at Aqueduct, caught a wet track, bit of a wide trip. I don't know, Mike. She's going to get close to the pace. I just have a feeling this competition might be a bit too tough for her.
Yeah, that's how I looked at her too. I mean, I thought she was another hard horse to make a case for, and here she should be forward. Maybe the trip will really work out. This is a weird turf course at this time of year, and you get some strange results. So that's something to keep in mind, Dan. But other than that, I can't really find a way to make a case for this horse.
Amanda's Folly, the 8 center main track only, would obviously be a major danger if this is washed off. Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for our Sunday race of the day. Mike, you're going with the progressive number 4, Cali Kim, just coming into this race the right way. She'll be storming through the stretch.
Just like her last 3 races, Dan, maybe she'll be a fair enough price in here. I think Vergara, the horse you have on top, I think she's the horse to beat. I'll take a small shot against her.
Vergara is just a really uninteresting pick. She has all of the company lines. I was a little disappointed again that she didn't finish last time out at Keeneland, but again, I think she might have been taken out of her game a bit. She can trip out with her tactical speed. 4-2-3-1 for Mike, 2-3-1-4 for me. It's your Sunday DRF race of the day, and it is at Aqueduct. Good luck.